Here's Richard Marles, the Defence Minister.
You're all good? I'll just... Yep, everyone's good. Well, welcome everyone today. Today, the Albanese government is announcing the most significant reform to Australia's defence estate in our nation's history. For any organisation, its home, its land, its infrastructure, its bricks and mortar is fundamental to what it can do. And that is most certainly the case when it comes to defence. How far our planes can fly, how well we can train our troops, the capability of our maritime deployments in so many ways is defined by the quality of our bases. Now, as we face the most complex strategic circumstances since the end of the Second World War, what became manifest from the Defence Strategic Review, which was undertaken in 2022 and 2023, was a need to invest in our bases in the north and in the west, HMAS Stirling in Rockingham, and that string of bases from Cocos Island through Learmonth in Exmouth, through Curtin in Derby, Tyndall in Katherine, Darwin and Shergar in Weipa. And we've been doing that. We now have exquisite berthing capacities at HMAS Coonawarra in Darwin, which last year for the first time saw a UK aircraft carrier come alongside. We've got much more fuel capacity at RAF Base Tyndall, for example. And we're engaging in an $8 billion redevelopment of HMAS Stirling ahead of the Submarine Rotation Force West, and that work is being undertaken right now. But at the same time, what became clear was that defence, as one of the largest owners of property in the country, had a very significant estate, much of which was not being used. Now, in truth, the issues around the defence estate have been well known within defence circles for a very long time. And it was with this in mind that the government commissioned Jan Mason, a former Deputy Secretary in the Department of Finance and a former Managing Director of Defence Housing Australia, and Jim Miller, a former Chair of Infrastructure Victoria, to undertake an audit of the defence estate. They're both here today and you'll be able to ask questions of them. But let me just say up front how grateful we are for their work. It was thorough, it was exhaustive, but in so many ways it was also damning. And I do want to take you to some of what the report says. On page 33, and I'm quoting, it says, "Defence is constrained by the weight of its past when it comes to management of the estate. Today's estate footprint comprises numerous legacy sites without a clear ongoing link to current or future capabilities. Urgent interventions are needed to correct the unsustainable trajectory that has resulted from decades of deferred decisions on contentious estate issues." On page 35, defence is holding more property than it needs and is carrying the burden of past indecision to reorientate the estate towards more contemporary and future needs. Page 35 again, attempts to consolidate and rationalise property holdings in the past have been stymied by a lack of political and organisational will to overcome challenges. And page 13, it is clear that maintaining the status quo is not an option. And so today we are making those decisions. Today we are taking the necessary action. I really want to acknowledge Peter Khalil, the Assistant Minister for Defence, who has done so much work on this since the election, and he has really led the government's work.
OK, that's where we leave Richard Marles for a moment.